Warning: Me Time and Murder is intended for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised. Oh, for God's sake, here
Dancing
it goes.
around him, reciting poetry. Yes.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
No. Why? Oh, well, big surprise.
Oh God.
Dead on the bathroom floor.
Did it? Okay.
Oh.
Do you want to tell me your drama, Tres?
Very small amount of drama, but I'd say for the people there it was exciting enough. So last night, out for dinner with my boyfriend's parents. It was called Spitjacks. How do you feel about that name?
I don't like it. It sounds like they're spitting the food. Spitjacks?
It was called Spitjacks.
Oh, don't like that. Anyway.
It was very tasty. And at the dinner, it was relayed to me that by Dan's parents who live in West Cork, it was relayed. So they went to a local sort of community concert type thing. I think it was held in either the local church or the community hall. And Ian Bailey showed up with a new woman.
What?
He's got a new girlfriend.
No way.
And she, what age is? She's probably in her 60s. And this is very West Cork though. Okay. Apparently she had a big slit in her skirt.
Oh my gosh, that whore.
But he was spotted. They spotted him there, and they also spotted him out the front of, I forget the name of the pub, but he was with the girlfriend out the front of the pub, and he bought his own wine at the shop.
What?
And brought it and drank it out the front of the pub. Yeah. Which is like the height of, like, that's such an insult for the pub owner.
Yeah.
You know, you want the crack of all the people, but you won't buy his drink.
Was he in the pub and like the?
I think he was smoking out the.
I think he
was like smoking out the front and then drinking a bottle of wine. But I'd say he went into the pub. Like, otherwise, why did he go to the pub? So,
God,
what a weird thing to do to bring your own drink. Yeah. So.
And what did they do?
That's the update. What did they do?
Dan's parents.
Dan's parents. They just give him a wide berth. They now they stay very far away. A lot of people stay really far away from him, but there's obviously people that do interact with him. Otherwise, he wouldn't go anywhere.
Yeah,
he's going out for the attention, you know. Yeah, it's just shivers.
He's still lurking about.
Where does he live now? God, I can't. Oh, obviously Jules kicked him out of the house, so he lives somewhere else now. I can't. I'll have to look that up again. But I always remember thinking, could you imagine you wake up one morning and he's your neighbour?
I know.
Like, wouldn't that be awful? So that's my little West Cork update.
You know what you could do though, if he was your neighbour? Remember that guy who did the live feed of the hotel? You could do like a live feed of his house.
Oh my God. Yeah, I love the guy that's at the... Oh, did I tell you that he got into the Cecil Hotel?
He went in?
He finally got in. Of course, nothing happened.
Yeah, it's just a house.
But it was very exciting.
Just a building.
Yeah, but it was very exciting. Yeah, he finally got in.
Ooh.
God, I was glued to that channel for a while. So yeah, what are we drinking? What are we doing?
Okay, yeah. Our intro is so different. What are you drinking, Tres?
I am drinking Barry's tea. Now, this time it is full caffeine, which probably isn't a lot of caffeine.
Wow.
Because it's just tea. But I need it today. Late one last night. What about you? What are you drinking?
I am drinking, I don't know the brand name, I don't think it's a big brand, but a mango iced tea.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Anything mango is usually good.
I love mango everything. What about your me time?
Well, I'm actually putting banana on my hair. Not an actual, well, not from my kitchen, but it's the Garnier Ultimate Blends Nourishing Hair Food, Banana and Shea. It's a hair mask. I think we've had this on the podcast before. Yeah, no, it's a good one. What about you? What are you doing?
I've got caviar eye balm on.
Okay. I'm gonna need to break that down for us.
Like sometimes, like if I'm in a good mood and like a sales assistant like really tries to sell me something, I'm like,
oh no.
I'm like, okay, God love you, trying so hard to push me to buy this shit. So it was on offer. I don't even know if this is a good brand or what, but it's called Supreme Deluxe Caviar.
Not just Supreme, not just Deluxe. Supreme Deluxe.
Yeah, it's like Supreme worldwide. Caviar eye balm. It improves in seconds. I have no idea. I threw out the box. I have no idea what's in it.
Fanciest.
It's in a glass.
Is this Estee Lauder?
No.
That's what comes up whenever I type in.
Caviar.
Oh wait, no. Okay, I think I found it. There's a lot of Chinese lettering. Yeah. This must be it.
Yeah. It doesn't smell like caviar. Anyway, so we got told off on Instagram the other day. Did you see it?
No.
We got a private message, somebody complaining about how much fluff we have too much waffle at the start of our podcast. I was like,
love waffles.
That's us. I love waffles.
Oh dear, should I go read that?
No. So I'm just saying, let's just cut out the waffle and just jump right in then.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Okay, do you know
You might have told me that before I started
talking about Ian
details
Bailey.
about my boring night. Well, that was the highlight, hearing that. But
Ian Bailey.
We can cut the rotisserie chicken. Cut it out. Nobody needs to know.
So this case was sent to us by an Instagram follower. One of our sent to us over Instagram, and she didn't want us to reference her, so I'm not going to. Just thank you for sending this case. It is the murder of Patricia Furlong. Have you heard of this murder?
No, I bet you it's one that I should have heard of, though. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I didn't know.
Or maybe I will. Do you know what? I'm really bad with names. Sometimes halfway through the case, I'll realise that I know who this is. I
didn't know it either. It's fine.
Okay.
So in the early 80s, Patricia Furlong from Dundrum in South Dublin, she was a typical happy-go-lucky, innocent young woman. She was enjoying her early 20s, and she... Sorry,
I'm going to need to interrupt you. I'm sorry, you're going to have to start again.
What?
I'm reading the waffle message. I couldn't resist. Oh God, the chat at the start of the podcast is so unnecessary. Well, okay, something I can't listen to the podcast. Sorry, that one really interesting. What one was really interesting to her? She didn't say what one was interesting.
You see, that I was also like, what is she talking about? But then I think she's referring to the one, Lizzie Donoghue.
Right.
Yeah. Like,
How do you know? Because it was just on the day it was released, or
it was the day it was released, but also, like, there was a bit of waffle in it because there's only... I had very little resources. I had just the appeal resource, and then I had like one very short news article about it, and like so, I didn't cut out too much of the waffle. I usually cut out. Yeah. So.
However, we still want to have some person.
I know. You can say proper scolding us.
I just find that really weird.
Yeah.
That someone would reach out to actually say... Maybe she means well, though. Maybe she's like, genuinely thinks that might help us or something. Right, good. Sorry, I couldn't resist.
I don't think... We don't have too much waffle. Some podcasts talk...
Oh, compared to others, no.
Jesus,
no, compared to others,
they talk for like 30 minutes, like close to an hour sometimes. And I'm like, what the hell are they even talking about? Like... Get to the murders.
But also with those podcasts, I do just skip ahead. That is also something that you can do.
Yeah,
you can
I also
just skip ahead.
Yeah. I'm like, shut up.
But like...
Sometimes I'm in the mood to listen to them.
That's the other thing.
Yeah.
That sometimes I will, and then if I'm not, I'll just skip ahead. So to me, it's like, you have the option to skip ahead. No one's forcing you to listen to this.
Yeah. Like, sometimes I
Anyway.
want to know, like, what's going on in their lives, and then sometimes I, like, couldn't give a shit. I'm too busy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It all depends on
Maybe
your mood.
should we do a bit like they do on YouTube? Do you know when they say like jump to 2 minutes 45 seconds for the start of the case? We could do that.
No other podcast does that.
Okay, why don't they? Does it hurt your
You think we should start?
rating? Huh? Does it hurt your?
I don't know. I guess we
No,
could.
No one does it. But
I would have to do it. I would have to
be
do it post, though, you see. Because we don't know where we are. While editing, I would have to then go in.
You would have to write down the time. But
while editing, and then at the end, I would have to record and then jump to 2 minutes.
No. Sorry, I mean in the description. Sorry, I mean.
Oh.
But no one does it. So is there a reason why nobody does it?
Yeah, I don't.
Let's look into it. Let's not do it straight away. Let's look into it. Okay.
Okay. Patricia Furlong from Dundrum in South Dublin was a typical happy-go-lucky, innocent young woman enjoying her early 20s. She enjoyed going out, dancing with friends, as well as roller skating.
Love it.
Yeah.
Not good at it, but...
Remember we used to go rollerblading in Bundoran?
Yeah, I don't think I was ever good at it. When you're young, you're a bit more brave, though.
On Friday, the 23rd of July, 1982, she was at the annual Fraughan Festival centred around Johnnie Fox's pub in Glencullen in the mountains above Dublin. Does Johnnie Fox's pub ring a bell to you?
Oh my God. Is that where Annie McCarrick went before she disappeared?
You are correct. Ding, ding, ding. Yeah.
Do I get a prize?
Yeah. You get...
I'm actually really proud of myself.
You get a waffle.
I actually do really want a waffle.
Oh,
Have you ever had the waffles in Maud's in Enniskillen?
No.
They're the best.
No.
We're going to get one someday.
Go crazy.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. So she went to the pub.
Mm-hmm. So I also didn't know what the Fraughan Festival was. So the Fraughan Festival is like a harvest festival from like ancient Irish tradition times, like a
Very
pagan
cute.
festival. I know I love all that
So
stuff.
they worship the blueberry.
Yeah,
Do
essentially.
you like blueberries?
I do like blueberries. Do you?
I know a lot of people that don't like them.
Idiots.
I know.
What else are you going to have in your waffle?
I like them on porridge as well.
So at this festival, it's like people go to pick berries and like obviously like mostly like blueberries and stuff to make pies and jam.
Nice. God, you're making me hungry.
I
Oh.
know. We used to pick
Waffles,
berries with
blueberry.
Mummy and Daddy. Do you remember?
What were they? Were they bilberries, I want to say? No. Were they blackberries?
I can't remember what they were. They were quite
And
small.
I think they might have been, we also used to pick gooseberries.
I will never forget gooseberries, and they're like prickly grapes, and they're super bitter.
Best.
Uh-huh.
They're like hairy grapes.
Yeah.
Like they were like fuzzy.
I haven't had a
But
gooseberry
so
in long.
sour.
Yeah.
I've never seen them since.
Yeah, that was in the hill beside our house.
But you don't see them. And we made gooseberry jam. I've never heard anyone talk about gooseberries. I've never seen gooseberries.
Yeah.
It's almost like sometimes childhood memories. You think, did that really happen?
Was that just us?
Was that real?
Did
Yeah.
other people eat gooseberries?
Gooseberries. I've never seen one ever since. Yeah.
You know it's spelled like goose. Is it a gooseberry? What do you call it?
Oh, maybe we were saying it wrong. Gooseberry.
Anyway, too much waffle.
Waffle.
So at the festival, it's like what you expect. There are like livestock, like competitions and showings. There's like dancing and music. There's crafts and craft fairs to buy and sell, you know. And then, of course, at the end of the day, everyone meets in the pub, Johnnie Fox's pub, have a pint, have a whiskey, ceilidh to traditional Irish music.
Love it.
Such fun.
Sounds good.
This was Friday the 23rd. The next morning, on Saturday the 24th of July 1982, a farmer came across the 21-year-old Patricia's near naked body in the corner of a field. I know.
No.
It starts off right away.
The day after the festival.
Yes, the next morning.
I mean, the Blueberry Festival.
Oh, I know.
You know, like, how can this... Oh, my God.
Yeah, it sucks. I did try to
Did she
find...
go on her own? Sorry.
I tried to find more information about Patricia, but there didn't seem to be a lot. There wasn't a lot out there. I wanted to give her more background, but I couldn't find any.
Because would you go to a Blueberry Festival on your own?
I don't think so.
You know?
I don't think she was there on her own.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, like, we should be able to go to things on our own.
We should,
you know?
but I can't see myself.
Jesus, I know.
Well, if it's your local community, yeah, maybe. But I don't know.
Even then, women still aren't
safe.
safe.
Sorry, I know what you're saying. Sorry, as a woman.
As a woman, we should be able to go places.
It was more just if she was with someone that I just can't believe how this happened, really. And I'm just wondering, was there somebody there that will be able to, you know, help put it together, or...
So the field where Patricia was found was known locally as Corbett's Field. I was only a few hundred yards away from Johnnie Fox's pub, where she had been dancing the night before.
God, this pub is cursed.
I know, let's never go there. Her boots had been removed and placed beside her body. Okay, we're jumping right in.
Okay.
Yeah. Her blue cotton blouse and white jacket had been taken off her, then twisted and wound round into a rope. It was strung around her neck and tied in a knot.
They killed her with her own blouse?
Yes.
What kind of monster is this?
Strangled her with her own shirt.
Oh my God. I really hope at the end of this case we know who it is. Otherwise this is going to drive me insane and I'm going to get really angry.
A Gardaí investigation of the surrounding fields found a bunch of her belongings, including her personal diary. Her belongings...
In the field?
Yeah. It was in, like, a different field. And her...
So, I guess she carries her diary in her bag?
Yeah, I suppose so. I don't know what kind of bag she had. Maybe she had, like, a rucksack bag.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
And her belongings were in two separate, neat piles. So they weren't, like...
Oh, I hate that.
They weren't, like, scattered around the field. They were, like, placed there.
Ugh.
It appeared that this was the field, Corbett's Field, was where Patricia was murdered before being dragged to the more overgrown field that was like more like concealed, that she wouldn't be spotted as quickly. Right.
And no attempt to hide the body with, you know...
It doesn't seem so.
Just in it, okay.
Just like thrown in the corner of the field.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So obviously it's a festival, so there was many witnesses at this pub. When the police investigated, one witness said he had seen Patricia that night. She was sat for quite a while on a giant water tank at the rear of the pub with some man. This witness didn't recognise the fella she was with, though.
Okay. But could he describe him, or...?
I believe so, yeah. He was like a young man.
Okay.
The Gardaí went over to the water tank, and sure enough, there was a pint glass still sitting on the water tank. So they gathered it to use as evidence.
Oh my God, chills.
Yeah.
The glass that she drank out is still sitting there and she is now dead.
I'm pretty sure it's his glass as well as there.
Oh, it's his. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so DNA, great. But also could be glass of someone else who had no dealings with her, and that's scary for that person.
Yeah, this is true. But also it's the 80s, so it's not really DNA. You're hoping for a fingerprint.
Oh, okay, right.
A security guard at the festival stated to Gardaí that he had saw two young men acting suspiciously at the entrance to Corbett's Field that night. He said that they also appeared to be there with a dark Ford Escort, which was parked at the entrance of the field.
Oh my God.
Another young female witness, who was an acquaintance of Patricia, knew one of the men that Patricia had been talking to that night. When being interviewed by the police, the young female witness said that she knew this man because they had met at last year's festival. where he had tried to strangle her.
Oh, shut up. Mm-hmm. What?
Yeah.
Oh, imagine being her, and imagine seeing him at that festival. Mm-hmm. God, she was brave to go back to the festival, but
yeah.
And then she sees him again, and he's just walking about, and what?
With some other girl, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Maybe. Obviously, she never. Well, not obviously. Did she not report it? Maybe, or
maybe not. Yeah.
Or maybe nothing. Well, it wasn't taken seriously. Okay, this is. I guess it's the 80s. I don't know. This is really crazy to me. Mm-hmm. Okay.
The young female witness gave the name of the man to the Gardaí, and she was able to confirm with the guard that this was the man that the other witnesses had seen Patricia with that night. So everybody's like pointing at this young man.
Wow. Okay, this is suspect number 1.
Uh-huh. The young female witness also said that she'd seen this guy talking to some other dude at the pub who was driving a red, Ford Escort.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
This is all very good witness statements.
Yeah.
They're all corroborating each other. Yeah,
they're all pointing in the same direction at the same timeline. 3 other witnesses all confirmed that they had seen Patricia in the company of some young man. The man, described by the witnesses, was young, about 6 foot-ish, slim. He was wearing white shoes, a jacket, trousers, and had his hair and had styled his hair in a quiff similar to the popular singer Shakin' Stevens.
I actually have heard of that person.
Whenever I was reading this, I was like, oh, like now I feel young because I'm like, who the fuck is that?
I definitely heard of that person. Yeah.
I have no idea what they look like.
They have a quiff.
They have a quiff.
That's such a funny word. Okay, blonde quiff, right. So this guy probably stands out.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Another witness said that while he was leaving the pub, he seen this Shakin' Stevens guy running at full tilt up the road away from the direction of Corbett's Field.
There's so much, witness statements there. Oh my God.
Yeah.
What an idiot, though. Why would you commit? I know it probably wasn't planned and all of that, but, really bad time to do this.
Yeah. When it came to examining Patricia's body, the pathologist said that they had to remove the ligature using a scalpel.
No, so that it was obviously really tight.
It was so tight. They noted that the ligature was very sophisticated. Like, somebody had made this ligature before. Mm-hmm. It looped around the neck and then it tied into a knot on the back. And in fact, there were no finger or thumbprints or any other kind of bruising on Patricia's neck. Just this ligature mark.
So they didn't even touch her with their hands?
They seemed to know what they were doing.
Yeah.
Or else wearing gloves.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, detectives and forensics were looking for fingerprints. Detectives took out Patricia's diary and they scoured through the pages. Upon examination, they found one fingerprint. They were able to identify that it was a male print. Mm-hmm. And they thought that perhaps the killer flicked through her diary before placing it on one of the piles.
Oh my God.
I know. It's kind of creepy because it's invasive. It's her personal diary. And it's
why?
Oh, yeah.
Why were you interested? Did they... Because I would have assumed that they didn't know her previously. Sorry, I'm going to sneeze.
God bless you.
Thank you. Yeah, that's so creepy. It was so uncalled for to do that.
Examination of the beer glass that was left in the water tank also revealed another fingerprint. However, the identity of the person or persons who left any of these prints would never be established.
Can they tell whether the print from the diary and the print from the glass, can they tell if those came from the same person? Maybe not. If it's a thumbprint and a finger,
you can't
really tell.
Yeah. It would have to be the exact
so it could be one
finger.
person or two people at this point. Yeah.
So the guard struggled with this investigation right from the start. Even though it seems to be going like quite smoothly.
Well, I'm
Right?
shocked by how much information they're getting.
Yeah, right?
But I guess it's like, it's all great to get the information, but how do you actually track that person down? Well, they've got the car.
Right? Yeah.
Car is a big one.
There's bound,
Does they have? Yeah.
It sounds like this should be way easier than it's about to get.
Oh, okay.
So, one of the things that the guards struggled with was that they had too many witnesses.
Oh.
They couldn't manage the amount of statements. A public request for assistance had been released via the media. Like, the public were told if they had information to go to the station. However, this announcement led to hundreds of people queuing outside the station with only a few local guard to take these statements.
It was a festival, like.
I know, right?
A lot of people, yeah. Wow.
So the queue quickly turned into a crowd, and the crowd started to get angry. And
What?
they were so angry that they had to call in extra detectives in from Dublin, had to come to like help them. Like,
Oh my God.
yeah,
This is crazy.
right. In total, there was about 1,500 statements were taken.
Shut.
That isn't that great? That's a lot. That's a lot.
I'm shocked.
yeah.
Wow. I wonder what size this pub is. This pub is probably not that big. It's just that people are coming in and out and around the vicinity and
Yeah.
God. There's a lot of time frames as well, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
People aren't there at the same time. Oh, God, that would be so messy.
Yeah. And people want to help, you know?
Yeah. Like, people are probably, I mean, I'd say the anger happened because they're angry about the murder.
Yeah. And they're frustrated.
And they want to help, yeah.
Even though they had 1,500 statements, actually a lot of witnesses got so frustrated that they left the police station.
So they didn't even get them all? Oh my God.
One of the 1,500 people who gave a statement was an English DJ who had been working in Dublin, Vinnie Connell. And he is going to be our first and only named suspect. Suspect. Yeah.
Dinny Connolly?
Vinnie, like Vincent.
Oh, Vinny. Vinny, an English DJ. Was he blonde with a quiff?
No,
He wasn't.
he is not blonde with a quiff.
Where is blonde quiff man?
Where is blonde quiff man?
I don't think this is going to go the way I want it to go.
It's not, Tress, it's not.
Okay.
So Vinnie's career in Dublin had not taken off yet. He had recently left his job as a prison guard and was pursuing a career in radio.
Okay.
He was at the festival that night with his fiancée in the hopes of meeting an RTE producer who could help him find work in South Africa. This actually did happen, and Vinnie became a famous radio DJ in South Africa for like a brief stint.
Okay.
Since Vinnie was there that night, he had to give his name and details to the guard. So he went to the station to make a statement. However, while there, he became really pissed off and refused to sign the statement. So a few days later, the guards went to his house. Here, he made another statement. He got pissed off and refused to sign it again.
Not suspicious at all. What?
And that was it. No more progress was made in the case for 6 years.
Excuse me?
I know.
Vinny that was it?
That was it. Yeah.
But the red car.
I know.
What?
I know. They did not seem to pursue this Shakin' Stevens guy. While in Ireland visiting friends and family, a guard pulled Vinnie into the station and held him for another statement. So he gave another statement 6 years later, and then they let him go. Then 2 years later, so it's been 8 years since the murder of Patricia.
Okay.
Vinnie left South Africa for good and returned to Ireland. In May 1990, Vinny was having a drink in the Fleet Bar in Dublin city centre when 4 detectives walked in and arrested him for attempted arson.
He's only just got back to Ireland, and has he done arson? Did he do it?
So, in 1982, whenever Vinny was being interviewed and stuff, an ex-girlfriend came forward saying that Vinny had tried to burn down her house in 1982.
Oh my God.
So whenever he returned to Ireland, they pulled him in and was like, you tried to burn down this girl's house 7 years ago. 8 years ago, I suppose. However, it was a bit of a ruse because within a few hours he was being charged with the murder of Patricia Furlong.
Yeah, I thought they were doing that, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Under the law, the guard were able to put him in detention for questioning for 48 hours. Vinny was driven to the guard station for interrogation, and he eventually signed an alleged confession.
Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now, however, when the trial came, Vinny pleaded not guilty.
Okay. So he said his confession was coerced.
Yeah. He testified in court that he had been deprived of sleep for the entire interrogation time and was physically and mentally broken through a prolonged period of violence, including hair pulling, slaps, punches to his kidneys. His head was dunked in a bucket of water.
What?
Yeah, that's a bit dramatic, Jesus.
But see, are we to believe him, or?
Well, I mean, they're cops.
Why didn't they have a camera? I know that they
didn't
could
do that
pause
in the
the
80s?
camera. Oh, I know,
Or the 90s. That's only like a kind of a recent thing. The past 10 years they've been doing that.
I mean, it's kind of bonkers that they weren't always doing it. It's their word against, do you know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, ugh.
So he also said that the guard used violent threats, including one that they would shoot him in the knees and elbows.
Gross.
Gardaí denied this, of course, and just pointed to his confession. They said, look, he confessed. He's trying to get out of it. However, in court, the 2 handwriting experts testified that this was not his normal flowing signature, that it seemed to have been forced or he was not in like a good physical state. However, the confession was allowed to be read in court. A section of it was read out anyway, and it said, "What ye don't realise, gentlemen, is I put all that out of my mind after that night, and I did have some drinks on me. I remember meeting her outside the tents and walking down past the pub and into the field. In the field, I put my hand around her waist and she slapped my face. That's when it started. She might have slapped me again. I pushed her to the ground and I pulled her bra and top around her neck. I think she tried to scream. After that, I don't know. I just ran in a blind panic. I remember taking her handbag and throwing it away into the bushes near where we were, or somewhere, I'm not sure. I got back onto the main road, over a wall, and ran back to the beer tent." So that was like part of the confession that was read out loud in court.
Is he trying to say he went back to the festival?
Yeah, like, would you do that? Would you?
You would go home unless he wanted that as an alibi. Like, people seen him. No, I seen him. He was there at that such and such a time, and he was fine. Got another pint. Throwing the bag into a field, I mean, that doesn't really fit. We know that the items were placed quite
neatly,
orderly. Yeah, so this isn't fitting. And pulling her bra and her shirt over her head, he left out a major part about turning the shirt into a
ligature, yeah.
Sorry, yes, exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like this guy, but it doesn't sound like it doesn't fit for me.
Yeah, right. The prosecution apparently supported this confession with evidence given from his now ex-fiancée, with whom Vinny had gone to the festival with. The ex, she said that Vinny was gone for around 45 minutes between 11:40 a.m. and 12:30 a.m.
Okay.
However, others who Vinny was with, who were there that night, all disagreed with her statement, saying he was not gone from the pub. He was still there at that time.
Do you know what? It's so messy. Everyone's probably drunk.
Yeah.
Do you really, like, how often are you looking at your watch?
I know, right?
You don't know what time it is after a few pints.
You know, you don't. You're 100% right.
I don't know who to believe. Yeah.
However, Vinny and his ex-fiancée did agree that they left together at 12:30 a.m. where they drove to her house in South Dublin.
Okay. And did they know the time of death? Were they able to establish that?
Well, it will come out later. It's going to come out later. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So during this time, it's kind of like the Ian Bailey stuff. The media was all out to get this Vinny guy. The media shelled out reports of like a Jekyll and Hyde personality. A man who allegedly assaulted women, who made threats to previous girlfriends, including attempted arson, which we know about that. Ireland also came to know Vinny as having a superior attitude.
Okay.
So the evidence of the signed confession was enough for the jury to unanimously believe the guard and convict Vinnie Connell of murder in October 1991.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was the actual... I mean, there was no actual forensic evidence, though. I know they didn't have a lot.
Yeah.
But wait a minute. They can fingerprint him.
Well, obviously the fingerprints didn't match because that would have been in the court.
But then if the fingerprints don't match, then... I suppose they can just say you had an accomplice or I suppose just because it was a male... you can't tell if it's a male fingerprint. Just because it was a fingerprint on the diary, it doesn't mean it was there and happened that night. Someone else could have touched it at another time.
But also, none of those fingerprints were ever matched to anything, to anyone. So, obviously, when he was arrested, they took his fingerprints and they tested it against the beer and the diary, and it was negative. So, yeah, there's basically no forensics.
So he doesn't have blonde hair, so the guy drinking the pint by the water tank had blonde hair. I don't... I'm still not sure he's our guy.
While being escorted out of the courts after the late night verdict, Vinny protested his innocence. "I did not kill this woman. Please believe me. I didn't kill her. I swear to God, I never met her in my life," he roared as he was taken out.
I have this feeling that might be true. Oh, God.
At the time, this was the longest trial in Ireland.
Oh, wow. Why don't I know about this?
I did not know about it either.
I suppose it was quite long ago.
So
we weren't alive.
Yeah. So while in prison, 4 ex-girlfriends came forward stating that they too had been violently assaulted by Vinny and lived in fear of him. Oh. Yeah.
You see, all of this could be true.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be.
He still didn't do the killing. But it doesn't make it look good for him.
Yeah. So he had
done it to 4 women?
Well, 4 that came forward.
That's a lot. That's a lot. It could well be true, but it still doesn't mean that he killed Patricia.
I know, yeah. Especially if, he didn't know her. You know? So he had...
God, it's confusing. Yeah.
The way he had attacked these women...
Okay, so wait, what way did he attack them?
So he had battered one, stubbed a cigarette out in the face of another.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and attempted to burn down 2 of their houses.
The whole burning the houses down?
Yeah.
That is frightening. Okay. But none of these are strangulations. And they're all very different.
Yeah. It's true.
Cigarettes.
It's true.
Battering. Burning down.
And we know that the pathologist said that the ligature was sophisticated. And it's well, obviously he's not making nooses and stuff. It's not in his MO. So Vinny had never admitted guilt to the murder, and he remained in prison for 4 years until he was granted an appeal in 1995. And that is where we will pick back up. In the next episode.
You're killing me. Very exciting. See you on the next one, guys. Slán Abhaile.
Bye bye.
Me Time and Murder would like to thank and acknowledge our sources that make this podcast possible. References can be found on our Instagram page.
Can you hear that screaming in the back?
No.
Alright, okay. There's a bird.
Is someone okay? Okay, it's a bird.
No, there's a bird
like,
shop. There's like a
Cindy,
parrot.
you should care.
There's a parrot shop
Okay, it's not a person.
next to us, and every now and again you can hear the parrots are just like
That's very annoying.
Yeah, it's quite bizarre. Warning: Me Time and Murder is intended for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised. Oh, for God's sake, here
Dancing
it goes.
around him, reciting poetry. Yes.
Oh my God! That's crazy.
No. Why? Oh, well, big surprise.
Oh God.
Dead on the bathroom floor.
Did it? Okay.
Oh.
Trez, what are you drinking?
Today I'm drinking my favourite Pukka vanilla chai. What are you drinking today, Mariam?
Marks and Spencer's strawberry tea. And what about your meantime? What about your me time?
Today I'm using the L'Oreal Elvive Dream Lengths hair mask.
Mm-hmm.
A staple really now at this point. I'm addicted. I keep buying it. What about you? What are you doing today?
I thought I would tell you that I actually ended up getting the Kiehl's moisturizer.
Oh, you did not, right? You caved?
I caved. I was shopping. I went to the gym and I forgot all of my deodorants and
Skincare?
stuff. I forgot my wash bag at home.
Yes.
So I had to go in and just get a few things for the shower.
Uh-huh.
And there was the Kiehl's and was reduced from, it was 55 pounds or something like that. It was reduced down to was it 35 or 40? It was a good
That's
chunk off it.
decent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a good, and I was like, oh, right, it's a sign to try it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so.
What's the exact title of the moisturizer?
It is Kiehl's Ultra Facial Cream.
Very good.
Yeah.
Have you been using it yet?
I have. For the price, I was expecting to be more blown away.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not disappointed. I think maybe I was just expecting more.
I know.
Okay, so today we're going to continue our story about Patricia Furlong, her murder, which was maybe solved, maybe not solved, committed potentially by this guy, Vinnie Corbett.
No, that's Corbett's the field.
Oh, shit.
Vinny, it was something again with C though.
Connell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Conley? Okay.
Connell, yeah. Do you remember what happened?
Sort of all over the place. It doesn't really line up. He signed a confession, but then retracted that and said that it was coerced by police. There was analysts who were able to say that his signature was signed under duress. It wasn't his normal signature. But to be honest, just to that point, even if I did commit a crime and I wrote a confession and I signed a signature, you're still going to be stressed in that moment. It probably is going to be all over the place, whether you did it or not.
Yeah.
Does that, you know what I mean? Anyway, and my signature changes a lot, by the way. Does yours change? Yeah. Anyway.
Darren always scolds me because I write out my whole first name. I'm like Mariam. I don't do an initial. He's like, your signature's too long. It's like, ugh.
We have quite long names.
McGuinness.
Our
Mariam.
surname is long and our first names are long, so I do just write T McGuinness.
Yeah, I should just start doing M McGuinness instead of Mariam McGuinness.
It's such a long name.
Yours is longer.
I remember, this is how, this is going to make me sound so crazy, but I remember when we would be doing exams in school, you have to write your name on the front of the test paper before you begin. everyone else would begin before me because my name took so long to read.
Yeah, right. You're
And I
still
would be
writing McGuinness, and
I
I
would be
was
like,
opening
oh my
their
God,
books.
I'm behind. I'm behind. I mean, we're talking like seconds here, but it used to stress me out that everyone had it opened and were starting to read before I was able to. Oh my God, so funny.
So basically, you're going to call your child like a really short name,
Like a 3-letter word. Actually,
like Al.
my new favourite child name is really short.
What?
No, I'm not giving it.
You always do. Why don't you ever share your...
It's really short.
Ah.
Okay, so he went to prison.
Mm-hmm.
Vinny went down for it.
Mm-hmm.
4 ladies came forward, 4 ex-girlfriends, saying that 2 of them said he attempted to burn down their house.
Mm-hmm.
1 said that he battered her, and 1 said that he put a cigarette out in her face, which that's really upsetting.
Yeah.
Pretty intense to get into at the start of an episode, but
Yeah.
that's what happened, apparently, allegedly. Sorry, I probably skipped a whole lot there. Is that where we're at?
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
I mean, how long has it been now? It's been a long time since the murder happened, because he was out of the country for like 6 years. Now he's been in prison for 4 years, so we're talking about 10 years, maybe it's more.
So we're now in 1995, and the murder was committed in 1981. So it's...
Yeah, okay,
yeah,
wow.
So it's quite a while.
So he's having an appeal.
Yes, so we're going to jump into this appeal.
Mm-hmm.
So after 4 years in prison, Vinny was granted an appeal in 1995. And the appeal court, they heard that he didn't receive a fair trial. In relation to the written confession, the appeal court heard that a syntax expert had cast doubt on whether or not Vinny had actually contributed anything to these statements.
Oh.
The syntax expert thought that they could have been totally fabricated by the guard. The expert pointed out the repeated use of the word ye instead of the word you throughout the whole statement.
Oh my God, shut up, because that is such an Irish thing.
Yes.
British people, English people don't say that.
Yes. Vinny was English, and he was actually a meticulous speaker and writer. He had qualifications in English language.
Sure, I mean he was on radio.
I know.
I'd say he was probably eloquent enough.
That was my next sentence. He was.
Uh-huh.
If you are on the radio, and he was in South Africa, and they all speak quite proper over there.
They do,
they're not going to be like, all right, ye. I jumped over the hedge and I ran up the road. I grabbed her.
Yeah, but don't police write out confessions or statements, or maybe that's statements. I've seen them write out statements, and then they say, "Are you happy with everything in this? Put your name down." Is it not the same for confessions then? Does the actual person have to write it themselves?
I'm not too sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But like the fact,
maybe the confession has to come from the person themselves.
But I mean, like, because if he was like dictating to the policeman to write down, the policeman would write down the word "you," because Vinny would say "you." He wouldn't say "ye."
I've seen. Do you know when people have had a very traumatic event, and they come into the police station and they write it down for them, and then they say, "Look, is this okay?" Because you're in such stress, you don't want to write it yourself. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? But
it does cast doubt.
It does, because if you were shown that confession and you were said, "Does this accurately reflect?" You'd be like, "Well, I don't talk like that. I don't say this and that." So, yeah. It's almost like, did he even read it?
Yeah.
That's what it makes it feel like. Did he just sign something that he didn't even read?
Well, that happens still today, you know?
Because that's supposed to be his confession statement, and imagine reading that back and it doesn't even sound like you. Yeah, that is weird. Okay, interesting.
The appeal court also heard that this syntax expert, his testimony, which casted doubt on the confession, this expert was not allowed to speak at the trial for the jury to hear.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, back in the day?
Yeah, in 1991. When the trial was happening, the jury didn't hear that this expert was like, I don't know if this is actually from Vinny himself. So the jury just believed, like, yeah, there's his confession. It didn't occur to them that it was coerced.
I find that shocking because I knew straight away. I mean, I'd say the jury were all Irish, probably. Do Irish people not know that UK people don't say ye?
I know, right?
That was a red flag for me straight away. But see, there's not that many UK people in Ireland, so maybe that's why they don't hear them speak. They hear them on the radio, though, and they hear them on the television.
TV, yeah.
No one picked up on that. Okay.
Yeah.
That's so weird to me.
Additionally, the jury was also prevented from hearing other witness testimonies, including the witness testimonies who swore they seen Patricia in the company of Shakin' Stevens Hairquiff. The jury didn't even hear of this other
that there was this alternative
suspect.
figure. Yeah. God, this is shady dealings.
So they didn't hear about Shakin' Stevens.
Yeah.
So they also didn't hear that the young female witness said Shakin' Stevens had tried to strangle her last year.
That was massive. That was massive. She didn't say Vinny, she said Shakin' Stevens, yeah.
Tried to strangle me at this exact festival last year.
I mean, that's massive. Did Vinny have a red Ford?
No.
Whatever?
No.
No?
No.
Well, there's another.
I know. And Shakin' Stevens, his friend, had a Ford Escort. It's like, and people seen the Ford Escort parked outside the field. Yeah.
Yeah.
The appeal court also heard that other key evidence was not allowed to come before the jury, including very vital testimony from people who knew Patricia and seen her after the disco had ended at 2:30 a.m. At this time, multiple people have agreed that Vinny
went home.
Yeah.
Even his own ex-fiance said that.
Yeah, we went home
even though I don't
12:30.
think she's happy with him anymore. She tried to get him in trouble a little bit.
But she still agreed, yes, we left.
She couldn't lie that. I mean, probably, not that she lived with her parents, but someone might have known that. Maybe she's just an honest person. She was like, yes, I did go home at that time.
Yeah, maybe.
She doesn't want to get in trouble either. She was trying to be honest, I suppose.
It's possible he was abusive to her and she wants like a little bit of revenge or something.
A little bit, the way she was like, I didn't see him for 40 minutes. I mean, that can happen at a party.
It can.
When you've other friends there, he went off with his guy friends, maybe.
Yeah.
It's still weird. I wouldn't like it. I wouldn't like if Dan disappeared for 40 minutes. I'd be a bit pissed off. But if I had other friends with me, I wouldn't care as much.
It's hard to know what happened.
Yeah. I don't think this guy is a great guy.
No, he's an asshole, yes.
There's too much smoke.
Yeah.
There's got to be some fire.
But it's just like, so the jury never heard that Patricia was alive at 2:30 in the morning. Yeah, she was alive. Like, that's really important.
Massive.
And he had left 2 hours before that.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh dear. Prior to the appeal, Vinny even paid to have his own blood taken for DNA analysis. Because remember, it's like early 90s DNA is like on the scene now. So he paid for it all by himself to send off his blood.
Did they collect any DNA from the scene?
So it could be you're just reading my mind. So it could be cross-checked against the DNA found on Patricia's body or belongings. However,
they didn't.
What do you think has happened?
They didn't bloody collect any DNA, or they took, maybe, they took the blouse, the shirt, they took maybe they've lost the items, or maybe they never preserved anything correctly. Sure, it's sad that I expected that.
Yep.
I
knew this was coming as well.
Yeah.
It was a waste of time, waste of money, because the guard and the forensics had mishandled Patricia's evidence and stored it haphazardly. It was unable to ever be used again.
Like, I know they didn't really know that DNA testing was, you can't see into the future and know that that's going to happen.
Well, surely the
But
people who work in the forensic labs, they know, look, they're working on stuff in the future. We have
They were working on it.
Yeah.
But it's not, do you know what? It's just have a bit of respect.
As well for the victim, yeah.
This is a person that's died. Just keep their things correctly. And yeah, you see, they're just thinking, oh, job's done. We've pinned it on your one and that's,
like the dust
we're
their
done.
hands.
Yeah. They don't, I mean, it's a bit, what is the word? Arrogant to think that, it's never going to come back. We're never going to have to revisit this again,
Yeah, it is, yeah.
They thought they could just put people away, get them to sign a confession. There's no video evidence of, what happened in that room. His word against ours. People are going to believe us. And God, it's so dangerous, isn't it? So scary back then to be convicted.
Yeah.
I'm obviously going down this route of this guy didn't do it.
Yeah.
And that's obviously how you're presenting it to me. It's funny. It's like when you watch a documentary.
Yeah.
There's an angle. I just wonder, do people in Ireland really believe that he did it? Anyway, we shall see at the end of the story.
To me, the fact that he paid to have his own DNA taken, like...
That's a good sign.
That's a really good sign that, like, they're like, look, I will do anything to prove.
Yeah. Unless he knew somehow that there was nothing to be tested against.
Well, how could
I don't know how he would know that.
He wouldn't know that.
Yeah, he probably wouldn't have known that.
So, despite Vinny's continued fight for vindication, the media continued to demonise him throughout his appeal with alleged stories of brutality towards other women. In fact...
God, this is so similar to the Ian Bailey case. Yeah, so similar.
In fact, one journalist read an insider editor memo in court that they had received saying to suggest that you examine the case from an angle of experienced Gardaí recognising Vinny as a bad one years ago, capable of killing women. So there was very much like this narrative of, well, our Gardaí, they didn't need the evidence. They knew that Vinny was bad. And you can't say capable of killing somebody and actually killing somebody.
That's ridiculous.
Two different things.
Very true, yeah.
With the mounting witness testimony in the Court of Appeal also found that Vinny was denied access to a lawyer.
What?
Yeah, I know. And he was interrogated beyond the 4-hour interrogation time window.
Uh-oh.
The appeal court agreed his confession was made under duress. So, in April 1995, Vinny's appeal was successful. And he was released.
Got a new trial? Oh, he got released?
On bail.
Okay, what was the bail? Do we know?
So, remember, there are still the charges pending relating to the former girlfriends. Remember, they were So, these things are still yet to happen. So, he's on bail for these crimes.
Oh, for all of them?
So, he's waiting to go to court for those.
Okay, so he was released. So he paid the bail.
I suppose so, yeah.
Who the hell put up the money? I
don't know. I did have friends and family in Ireland. So get this, part of his bail condition is so Irish, old Irish. So part of his bail condition was that he had to stay within the confines of the Franciscan monastery in County Donegal. The fuck, like...
I love that. I love that.
What? So bizarre. You have to stay in a monastery. It's like so Irish. It's like, you have to go say your 10 Our Fathers and 3 Hail Marys.
Go do your penance. That's so funny.
Oh dear.
That would not be fun at all, to live amongst such holy people and you being accused of all of this.
Oh, Jesus.
The guilt, oh my God.
Oh.
Could you imagine how they would treat him?
Eventually, these 4 ex-girlfriends did thankfully see their day in court. Vinny pleaded guilty to assaulting his former girlfriends. He pleaded guilty to causing them actual bodily harm, attempted murder, 2 counts of arson, and 1 count of common assault. Attempted murder, 2 counts of arson, and 1 count of common assault.
Which one was the attempted murder?
I think
Was that the battery one?
I think that's the arson one. Like,
so someone was in the house at the time, maybe?
I think so, yeah.
Jesus. You see, now he has attempted murder against him. I mean, that's not good.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's a very, very different type of murder.
Very different. Vinny received a 12-year suspended sentence. So...
Excuse me?
Yeah.
What?
I know.
For all of that?
All of that. Not just basically slap on the wrist. Bad boy.
What?
Violence against women does not matter.
Oh my god. So, and how is the appeal going then for the...
Well, he's
Patricia
still out.
case?
He's still, nothing seems to be happening with the murder. Upon leaving the court, Vinny stated that he had only pleaded guilty to the assault charges because he wanted to avoid another lengthy trial.
It sounds like he knew he wasn't going to do time for them.
Yeah.
I think there might have been a setup there. If you plead guilty, you're not actually going to have to serve the time. Is that what it sounds like to you?
I'm not too sure why he got no time. Well, women don't matter. You're allowed to beat women up. Despite his conviction being quashed, the guard and the media continued to suggest that Vinny was guilty and had only been cleared on technical grounds. The guard swore that they had got the right man. Also, Patricia's family was devastated. They felt they had let Patricia down and that they had got the right man at the start and now a murderer was free.
Oh my god.
Yeah. One family member stated to the media, "We had no doubt on the evidence in court he murdered Patricia. He did sign a statement admitting it, and no matter what pressure you are under, you wouldn't do that in a murder if you knew you were innocent and the law was on your side." Yeah, I know. It was in the 90s, before, what's it called? Making a Murderer and the West Memphis 3.
Yeah.
I
mean, it even today, it's so hard to to get into the shoes of someone who you can't imagine signing something like that, but we know now that it happens, but
we know now it happens all the time.
Yeah. So I am so confused. He had an appeal. Mm-hmm. Does the appeal not mean he has to be retried for Patricia's murder?
But I think that the police will have to, or the prosecution will have to bring stuff forward, new evidence.
They're working on that. And where are we now? What is there a next part to this? This is back in 1995.
Despite having such a bad reputation, Vinny continued to campaign to have his innocence established, even going as far as to sue the retired guard and publisher whom had published a book. One chapter included Vinny. Vinny filed a lawsuit for defamation of character. After all, his conviction was quashed, And then Vinny died 6 years after his release.
No way.
Yeah, in London in 2000.
And he never got retried?
Never got retried.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine being her family?
I know.
They think that they hated it, so they're devastated.
Yeah. The guard who was being...
Well, you have nothing else. You've no one else really. Okay, Shakin' Stevens, but he's not tangible. They had something tangible. Do you know what I mean?
I know,
so it's for them. They have nowhere else to go now.
Yeah. The guard who was being sued by Vinny said that he thought he had represented Vinny fairly in the book, and that at least Vinny's death could bring relief to the women he had tormented.
Well, that's true.
Yeah. He
sound like a douche. He was on quite the streak.
Yeah.
He was a danger to society. Should have kept him in the bloody monk's house.
Similar to the Sophie de Plantier Ian Bailey murder case, it soon became apparent that perhaps the Gardaí had blinders on. Mm-hmm. Failing to follow up other evidence and testimony from the fateful night.
That is so frustrating. Because we know, like, I believe for a fact
Mm-hmm.
that she, okay, I can't say it for a fact,
Yeah.
but there are so many people saying that she was with a guy that cannot be made up. That cannot be false. So where is that guy? And it bothers me that, okay, yeah, you could be with a guy and you could get killed by another guy, but you know what? She was one-on-one with this guy for a good portion of the night. We need to talk to him. We need to find him.
Yeah.
When did you leave her?
Yeah.
Was she upset when you left her? Did she go off with someone else? Or what? He's key, because that's why I asked you at the very beginning, did she go to this party alone? Because there's always that one person, the best friend or whoever, that have the info on her goings about that night, her whereabouts. What was her mental state like? What was going on?
Yeah,
he's the guy to ask, and they never bothered to find him.
To me, it really reminds me of the Ian Bailey case, because they just got fixated so much on this one person.
I know, your man fit the profile, abusive to women, and
It doesn't help that he's English. The guard do not like English people.
I know, it's so funny how it's so similar.
Right?
It's very similar.
But yeah, so...
It's very similar, but it's just... God, I don't know. It doesn't... There's not enough for me in that.
It's true.
To say that there's just not enough. I can't believe he got convicted, and... I also can't believe that they didn't do the trial again. They waited 6 years.
Well, they said...
I guess they
said that they got the right man, that they didn't have anything to bring forward. Like, I don't know. I know they're not like fighting for Patricia or for her family. They're just like leaving it. They're like, They're like, oh, there's nothing. We don't have anything. Yeah.
Well, then maybe you didn't get the right man, because if you don't have anything significant, that might mean he wasn't.
Yeah.
I know sometimes people can get away with it and do it, and you can't bring anything forward. And sometimes I do think that perhaps that is what happened in the Ian Bailey case. You do get cases where, if you don't have the DNA, if you don't have, anything concrete, people can get away with murder. It can happen.
Sure, the killer driller dentist, he nearly got away with it 20 years.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It happens, but there's something about this that just, I don't know, doesn't feel, especially with so many witnesses.
Especially so many witnesses pointing at the same guy, the same Shakin' Stevens guy. Yeah, yeah. And also, I would like to point out as well, is that they found her belongings in 2 neat piles, which to me sounds like that was 2 people were carrying her stuff and put them down.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Why didn't... Okay, oh my God, the girl who got strangled by Shakin' Stevens, can she not help the police track him down?
Yeah,
right?
but they didn't. They just didn't.
Ah, dude. And then,
after the quash,
and then he's still out there.
Yeah, after the quash, the case was suspended and has never been taken back up for review, for reinvestigation, not even as a cold case. Never been picked up since.
God.
Yeah.
That's awful.
In the years after Patricia's murder, other murders occurred in the same mountainous area.
I was like, this guy is out there.
Yeah. Antoinette Smith, 27, was abducted and murdered. She was strangled with her own bra in June.
Stop it.
In 1988, 6 years after Patricia's murder, and when Vinnie was living in South Africa.
Oh my God. It's quite similar with the bra. I know it's not the shirt, but with the bra.
In 1992, Patricia O'Doherty, a 31-year-old mother of 2, was abducted in the same area, and her body was also found strangled.
What is going on? Oh my God.
And then 1 year later, Annie McCarrick, a 26-year-old American student, disappeared while at Johnnie Fox's pub in March 1993. And she's never been found.
Oh, I know. I hated that case.
Right.
This is so worrying. Take me back, Annie McCarrick. There was a fella.
I've got it right here in front of me. You're always
because we felt pretty sure on him.
Yeah, Larry Murphy.
Didn't we? Not
Larry
that we're
Murphy.
the authority on this, but you get a gut feeling.
Yeah.
And
Other missing women included Jojo Dullard and Deirdre Jacob, whose cases were re-examined in the aftermath of the arrest of Larry Murphy.
Larry Murphy.
Yeah, because we did the vanishing triangle, right?
Yeah.
I think we should do like a deeper dive into all of the murders.
He was real suspicious.
Right?
His friend was out hunting and seen what he was doing, and he was basically caught red-handed.
Yeah, like suffocating
with a woman.
with a plastic bag on her head. Do you remember that? Ooh.
What are you doing there, Larry?
And then, didn't he rape like a 13-year-old or something as well?
Oh, he was atrocious.
Yeah.
And I remember feeling very strongly that he had done all of those murders. And see, then the worry is you think, oh, he did them all. But then usually there's going to be one or two that wasn't him.
Yeah.
You know what it's like sometimes when there's a serial killer, someone will be like, oh, this is my chance. I can slip one in, you know. That's the worry. And that usually there's usually one or two. But at least if we can have the majority solved, that would be great. Yeah. God, I can't believe this is all connected.
I know.
Don't go to the Gary Fox pub.
Yeah.
Sorry, what's it called?
Did you call it the Scary Fox Club?
I think I called it Gary Fox. That's a podcast. What's it called? The
Johnnie Fox's.
Johnnie Fox. Yeah. Don't go to the Johnnie Fox pub. Oh my God. Did Larry used to have hair? Because I know in the images he's usually quite bald or shaven looking with like dodgy glasses, and he just looks so creepy. I wonder, did he used to have a blonde quiff?
I don't know.
Most guys had hairs at one point in their life, you know. But that, you know what I mean? We don't know what he looked like back in 81.
I don't know. Maybe.
Wait, what age was he back then?
I don't know. Okay, Detective Trez, she's on the case.
Because I'm trying to tie this all up in a nice little bow, and this might be utter nonsense.
And that's basically it. It is not a nice ending. It is just a frayed and tattered ending. Yeah.
Horrible. God, there must be a fair bit of distrust in the police in those areas. Could you imagine growing up with that?
So,
wow. That was a good one. Thank you, listener, for the recommendation.
Oh, shoot. Yes. She wanted to withhold her name. So, thank you. That was a good one. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to Me Time and Murder. This is what you're listening to. I also thought I would point out that we do actually, our little podcast dips in and out of like the top 100 true crime podcasts in Ireland. We like dip in and out of the charts. And as well for the UK, we dip in and out of like the top 200. So we're doing better in Ireland, but we're not doing too bad. So if our listeners just go leave us a review, that will help with our numbers, and
yeah, people will be able to see us more, basically.
And we'll be recommended more, like, oh, you like listening to this? Listen to Me Time and Murder.
Maybe we'll do a few English cases as well.
Yeah, we've been leaning very heavily to Ireland for a while. We just did Mary Bell.
Oh, yeah.
And then Lizzie Donahue was also England. Oh, we're okay. But yeah, and also I have updated the Patreon.
So yeah, go have a look.
Have a snoop on there. Follow our Instagram. Is that it? Is that all the handles?
That's all we got. We're not on Facebook. Or we are on Facebook.
We are on Facebook.
If you use Facebook, we're on Facebook.
Yeah. Apparently you can listen to podcasts on Facebook now.
Oh my God, I didn't know that.
I activated it today. I was just like, are you a podcast? I was like, I am a podcast, Facebook. And I put in our RSS feed.
That could be handy for some people.
Yeah. Okay?
See you in the next one. Slán all you guys.
Bye-bye.
Me Time and Murder would like to thank and acknowledge our sources that make this podcast possible. References can be found on our Instagram page.